yes, you're going to get haters. You're going to get haters. You open up a shop. You open up a popcorn shop. You got haters, right? Because you're doing something that somebody else didn't do. You open up another popcorn shop. You got haters because you're successful. You're growing. So you got haters. You open up a third popcorn shop. Oh man, he's real successful. You got haters. You want to know why? And you got haters from the people that don't even get up off their couch. They're the backseat driver. They're the couch potatoes that do nothing and won't really do anything.
Preach!
You know what I mean?
Preach!
So showing your success is not for you. It's not for the haters because you are going to have them no matter what. It's for the people that need that help, that motivation.
You know what, Mike? Welcome to the Be Poptastic podcast, Poptastic Nation. We are so happy that you are joining us. And today we're talking about success. And don't worry about those haters because those haters are going to hate no matter what. So keep doing you, boo, boo. Yes. So, Mike, we are here. Today we're going to talk about a very dear topic.
It's a tough topic.
A tough topic, but a well-worth topic. How many people try to stay in the shadows because maybe they don't want to offend anybody? Maybe they just want to avoid the attention, but enjoy life. I was listening to the radio station earlier today, and Ice Cube's son was explaining the difference between being famous and being rich. And he said he would prefer to just be rich and not famous.
Yeah.
And the radio host asked him, he said, why? And he was like, well, you know, when you're famous and you're in that limelight, life is totally different. And he was explaining like, man, my dad was never able to take me to the mall to do all of that, you know, so we didn't have a lot of experiences that most people have compared to just people that just have money and they're doing their own thing just with the money.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, that's pretty solid, you know. But I think sometimes when you do see successful people that's not doing anything with their lives, they tend to be more judgmental or say, oh wow, look how he spends his money, or look what they're doing with their money. Oh my God, they spent X amount of dollars on a purse or whatever it may be, right?
Yeah.
But they're probably not aware of what that person did to accumulate those type of things, you know, the work that they're applying. So today we're here, we're talking. For those of you that's chiming in, I rewarded myself for my birthday, and I went out and I brought myself a Maserati. That was one of my dream cars.
And it's nice.
And I
finally got to see it today.
Yes, very nice. It rides beautifully.
It sounds when you just
amazing.
start it up, it's like, ooh, there's power there.
Yeah. But you know what's cool? I remember last year when I really made my mind up to say I want to have this car. I remember being in my regular car, right? Holding the steering wheel and envisioning me be inside of the Maserati. And I said, well, Chris, how are you going to hold the steering wheel? How are you going to grip the steering wheel, you know? And I would drive and just envision me already being in this Maserati. Now, prior to buying this car, I also remember when I would see a Maserati, I would be that guy that turned my head and be like, "Oh my God, there's a Maserati!" Driving my Maserati now, being behind that wheel, and seeing other people ride past me and
Doing the
same thing. For me, it's powerful because it's like, hey man, if you really believe in yourself and you apply yourself, you can really obtain the things that you want in this life. I told you earlier, I had a guy pull up on me, slow motion, right? Slow motion. I could not hear him, right? I could not hear him. But he turned his head just like you were doing, and I was able to read his lips, and his lips said, if you can read my lips, maybe zoom in, you can catch it. But it was
maybe I'll
powerful.
put it down in
the captions down below. But that was powerful. It was like, man, I realized is where us as humans, we can have a big impact on this earth. We can inspire so many people just by going forward, pushing forward with our goals and our dreams. You can inspire people all around you. I mean, it's just the fact that me parking a car somewhere and somebody knowing me can see me getting in that car to know that, hey, man, that's his car.
Yeah.
He's driving that car. Now, mind you, I won't drive the car every day because that's just, a go-out car. So as you can kind of see my attire today, right? Getting dressed this morning was pretty cool. My kids are looking at me like, Dad, what are you doing? I'm like, well, I'm driving my Maserati, I want to feel good when I drive this car, and I realized Deion Sanders, he used to say, he had a saying, and I can't quote it exactly, but it went something under the lines of, if you feel good, you play good. It's something like that. If you look good, you feel good. If you feel good, you play good, right? Tis where it's all about how you feel, right? So if you have a nice car and you dress nice and I put on my favorite fragrance as well, right? So I'm smelling, mind you, the fragrance is for other people, but it's also for you too, right?
Yeah.
If you like something and you really like that particular fragrance,
you're just like, let's go.
So I can't lie. I felt like $1 million behind that steering wheel today driving. The sun hit my face. It was fun. It was fun. It's something, but I think about life. It's about those experiences.
Yeah.
And if I would have never stepped out, right, and followed my dream and went out and brought a car that I always dreamed of, I would have never had that experience. I wouldn't be able to tell you firsthand on how it feels, right?
So I actually I watched a video, and there's actual science behind envisioning and vision. And so this doctor, and they do stuff scientifically, right? So they actually did a test subject of it was something along the lines of, imagine yourself working out, doing bicep curls, like sit there, meditate, imagine yourself doing this. And they did it it was a scientific study, so they did it for a number of weeks, I forget how many, and then there were people that actually did that work. And they were able to track the brain, like, oh, there's these neurons, and the people that are doing it are there, showing up, it's there. And also, the same thing happened in the people that were imagining it.
It happened. And
their muscles grew.
Yes. It's facts.
Like, their muscles grew, and they didn't even actually lift a weight.
Do anything.
And they also went on and talked about, the same thing. Somebody that was a musician. They were talking about a musician, like somebody that's never played a guitar before. Imagine themselves playing a guitar. And all of that stuff, like the brain created that.
So what happens in that, and you're 110% on point, right? What happens is, when you envision things, what happens is your brain is releasing these chemicals, right?
Yeah.
And things begin to manifest, by doing that. It's almost like you have to be obsessed with it, right? So the story. I mean, Mike could tell everybody here. My screensaver on my phone was a Maserati, right? So you got to think, for a year straight, every time I touched my phone, I was looking at the car that I knew that I was going to own. I didn't have any doubt that's when it comes to being optimistic, right?
Yeah.
I was very optimistic, and I knew that I had to be productive in order to get that, right? So I knew that
Yeah.
I had to apply myself. In the Bible, right? It say faith without work is dead, right? You have to apply. It's in the Bible. It's saying that, hey, God tells people that, hey, I will give you the desires of your heart. He will do that, right?
Yeah.
But first, you have to most definitely believe,
and
right?
you need to work,
and you have to work.
So I have a client of mine that's a family member, and I'm like, so what is, you want to do all this stuff? What is your marketing budget? My marketing budget is faith.
I like that.
I'm like,
Sanders.
I'm like, that's great, but you need to do something,
right,
in order to make it happen.
Yeah.
It's like, and she is very religious, and she's like, my faith and my belief, like, that's our marketing budget. And I'm like, well, you also need to work and do something.
So I think with her, like, she's on the right track, right?
Yeah.
She has faith, right?
Yeah.
And what typically tends to happen is when you do have faith, with anything, doors begin to open up if it's for you.
True.
Right? So if her faith is strong enough, but she has to be aware of her surroundings, right?
Yeah.
Because there can be an opportunity that's knocking that will allow that budget to come to pass, right?
Yep.
Or to raise that budget, but she has to be aware.
Yeah.
You just can't say you have faith. It can be that person that you're sitting next to that may want to bless you.
Yeah.
So you have to just have an open. It may be a job opportunity or a business deal that take place that give you that financial means to increase your marketing budget.
Yep.
So faith is solid, but people just know it's two sides to the coin with faith. You most definitely have to have faith, but you have to use your eyes so you can kind of see what's going on around you. So that way you're not making a bad investment or having a good investment, to just be able to see the opportunities that's surrounding you.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's that. So I went out, I brought this Maserati, and it
looks really nice, man.
Looks nice. And Mike, we debated on this podcast today. Chris, are we talking about this? And me, I'm very conservative,
Yeah.
I don't like to flaunt, when my younger days, wouldn't care. Now I'm older, it's like, okay, I have the car, it's a car, I'm not the type of person that I'm all in your face. No, that's not it. I'm not bougie, quote unquote. Man, you want to sit in the car, get in the car, whatever, because I know that I was that person to where, man, I see some of those things, and I'll be honest, some of the wealthy people that I've encountered, they kind of led the way for me as well, right? And mind you, they're wealthier than me, right? Like, wealthy, right?
Yeah.
But they kind of laid the foundation for me or gave me something to mimic because
absolutely
they weren't stuck up, Yeah. Man, I've approached people in Rolls Royces and Bentleys, and I had conversations. I remember a guy was in a Maserati this past summer, and we were stuck in jam traffic, right? And I'm like, man, how does it ride? How does it feel? And he looked at me. He was like, man, it's cool, man. I love it. Man, one of the coolest cars I brought. Go get you one. And I'm like, I am. On my birthday, I am. And he was like, you can do it. And I just think about the encouragement, that they spoke. They didn't look at me like, yeah, right, it's impossible. Even people with Rolls Royces, right?
Yeah.
They let me sit in their car like, go ahead, man, try it out, man. It's cool, man. You should get you one.
Like,
man.
Mr. Butera.
Yep, Mr. Butera. I mean, he awesome dude, awesome, beyond awesome, approachable people, and I think
it's
sometimes
like it's what I mean. It's just like, I've got this level of success. I want to buy a car, and I'm going to work every day in my car.
And I'm going to work
that's
every
what
day.
he does.
That's what he does. And that's something that inspired me, just seeing him. I mean, seeing his Bentley, and then he got his Rolls Royce. I went up there the other day. He had another Rolls Royce. I'm like, oh, my God, wow. I'm like, man, right? But one thing that inspired me that really showed me something prior to me even really like, okay, I want this particular type of car, is, man, his car was parked there on Saturdays.
Yeah.
You know? And I remember the first time, I'm like, man, he's here on work on a Saturday. Man, oh my God, man, you got a bro. Why are you here on a Saturday?
You got all these stores. You own all this stuff. You got all these employees.
But one thing that showed me, right, just by him simply parking his car in that parking lot, was just because you get successful doesn't mean that you get to take days off.
Yeah.
And one thing that I'll tell people now, having that car for me is actually motivating me more. Yeah. Because now it's kind of like almost a self-confidence.
It's like, now what's the next one?
What's the next one, right? But also to where it was like reinsurance. That, man, Chris, you can do anything you put your mind to.
Yeah.
Just apply yourself. That's when I drive that car, that lets me know, man, Chris, sky is the limit. Okay, cool. It may take work. Okay, cool. You equipped. You prepared to put in that work. And as long as you willing to put in that work, man, you can dream big, man.
Yeah.
So one thing what's happening now for me, right? It's still like I'm like that a little kid that's like, okay, wow, okay,
I got this.
This is real. And now I'm able to look at the blueprint and the recipe. And now it's like I can continue to mimic what I've been doing.
Yeah.
And 9 out of 10, right? I know that I can still be successful and to keep going for more goals and more dreams.
Yep.
And to where I don't have to put a cap or feel like it's impossible. I'm talking about I can dream of the wildest thing. I kid you not, yesterday, me and my brother was together, and he was asking he was on the phone with his friend. And my brother was like, yeah, we in a Maserati. So his friend was intrigued, like, man, how does he feel? Ask him the questions. And I'm like, what? But I understand. I understand that place, right? Because naturally, his friend is connected to him and my brother is connected to me. So it's like, hey, this is his tunnel way. He was like, how does it feel? And I said, man, it's just a car, So, and my brother's explaining, he was like, man, my brother's different. He was like, man, he's very humble. He has the car. He wants to enjoy the car. So I told his friend, I said, I'm going to be honest. I said, I just want to go out to some nice places, hop in and out of the car. I said, I won't drive it every day. I said, because I'm working, so I don't have time. I'm hauling popcorn around. So I'm still putting in work. So, hey, I can't load up a whole Maserati with popcorn. It's not enough, right? So I was like, I got stuff. I got supplies. I got stuff to do. So, this is a weekend car, maybe a day car.
Yeah.
But I told my brother, I said, it's just a stepping stone. So as we were driving, we were passing by O'Hare, and I looked, and I was looking at the plane's land while we were driving, and I said, and he's like, what you looking at? He's still on the phone with his friend. I said, this is just one step. I said, man, right now I'm dreaming about the day that I can go to an airfield and hop on a private jet. Not your commercial airline, but a private jet.
Yep.
And this private jet, and I want to be able to drive any car I want to, not have to worry about TSA, anything like that. Go right on that jet, go wherever I want to go.
Pull up right right next to the plane.
Pull up right next to the plane.
And take off.
Because when you see those type of things, whether it's on YouTube or Facebook, and you see people that's living that type of lifestyle, to me, that's like, man, that's powerful. Like, that's cool. But and when you hear some of their stories, it started with a dream, and they applied themselves in order to be able to fly that jet. So it's like, man, I think that would be cool. I don't have to own my own private jet, right? Yeah. Maybe I can, do a partnership deal or timeshare with the jet, but to at least have access. And I know that there's some different programs out here now where you can fly on a private jet. I'm not sure of the pricing exactly, but I know it exists. But I'm like, hey, if I can be a part of that and I can have me a jet and say, hey, you all, this is our trip. We going here. This is what I said, man, that's my next thing.
Yep.
And it's like, if I only have one life to live on this earth, I darn sure want to try to give it my all to be able to experience that in this lifetime.
Yeah.
So having this car, this is just a milestone. I hope that it do inspire people, because other people that went out and purchased this car, people that talked to me along the way just driving that car, it most definitely inspired me every day.
Yeah.
It was a reminder to say, Chris, you can't have this car as well. So naturally, me just being a motivated individual, my next thing is, man, look, hey, man, a jet. Like, man, I want a jet. And me knowing that it is possible. You know, and if anybody comes around me like, yeah, right, thank you, I appreciate the doubters, I do appreciate the haters, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, hey, you know,
But I don't live for the haters.
I don't live for the haters, you know? So that's something. So I realize whatever anybody is doing in their life, whatever level of success, it doesn't mean just because you show it off, you have to flaunt it or whatever. But sometimes you inspire people around you,
Yeah.
you know, to make them believe. You know, I remember I was 25, I brought my home. I know that I inspired a lot of people within my circle because you got to think, it was like, you know, 25, you know, you're used to renting, whatever it is you're used to renting. It's like, hey, nah, you know, man, let's go out. We can take this same money that we're spending and let's get a mortgage and we can own our own homes, you know. And I remember it was like a boom. It was a wave of people that was just connected around that. Everybody started going out like, you know what, you're right, Chris. Let's go buy a house, man. I'm going to buy me a house. I'm going to buy a house. And that's cool. And that's powerful because not only within my family or my group, those people still had their sphere of influence around them to be able to inspire people around them. Say, you know what, I should buy me a house, you know. And I think that's what it's about. I mean, in the Bible as well. I'm doing my Bible quotes today.
Bam.
We having church.
But you want to know what? I mean, but that's it. It's like you believe, you have faith, and this is how it's going to happen.
Yep, it's going to happen. They say all the time, iron sharpens iron. I think that's a fact, you know. So even here talking, I mean, you know, like it was teeth in the needle. You're like, Chris, let's do it. I'm like, nah, I don't want to do it. But it's pretty cool because if people can sit here and see me and know that, hey, I did set this goal and, hey, man, this was my screensaver and I applied myself throughout this course of this time.
This is how I did it.
And this is how I did it. And it manifested itself. You know, it happened for me. And I know that people are able to see me and touch me. It's just pretty cool. Yesterday I was about a popcorn shop and somebody was like, man, that's your car? I'm like, yeah. He was like, man, that's a cool car, man. I'm like, man, thanks. You know, I appreciate it. You want to look at it? You know, I'm like, hey, go ahead, open it up, look at it, sit in it, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But I think that's what it's all about. I think that's what life is about. If everybody can give their all to whatever they're doing, you most definitely will have an impact on this world and be able to inspire other people. And for those of you, to the haters, right? To all of the haters, right? We got to have a message for the haters. Believe in yourself. You know, compared to focusing in and downing the next person for going for their goal. Because I'm pretty sure people are going to say, oh, man, a Maserati, that's not all of that. Whatever, right? Cool. Hey, that's something that I like. Everybody is different. Maybe you may like a different car. Maybe you want an electric car. Maybe you like a Tesla. Maybe you like a truck.
Maybe you want a 1956 VW Bug.
Right. Whatever it is, just focus on you. You know, I think so many people put so much energy on focusing and commenting and worrying about other people. To where if you took that same energy and applied that same energy to the things that you want to accomplish or getting out of whatever situation that you want to get in, I think that's when you'll see transformation in your life. So that's one message that I may have for any haters. I mean, it's all positivity here, but we know that haters exist and some people feed off haters, right? But my thing is, how can I change a hater into a congratulator? How can I inspire a hater to make them realize and say, look, you don't have to hate, you know. One thing, one of the podcasts that I was listening to, no, actually, I know I'm gonna mess up his name. Harv T. Eckert? Harv Eckert.
T. Harv Eckert.
Okay, it was one of the two. In his book, he said, compared to saying that somebody makes too much money or they're filthy rich, congratulate them. You know, when they do a good deal, because when you start congratulating, what happens is you're opening up the doorway so that you can receive a blessing as well. Yeah. You know, compared to, oh my God, wow, really? That's just too much, right? All of the negativity. Yep. Change that. So that's something that
because it changes your mindset.
It changes your mindset, you know, because I kid you not, I celebrate people on their success. I celebrate seeing somebody in a nice car. Oh my God, like, wow. It's like, because for me, it's like, I know they're a human just like I'm a human. Yep. You know, they don't have any magic powers or special powers. They're the same, and they just apply it themselves. And if I can have a couple seconds of their time and kind of, hey, what did you do different? Hey, how did you do this? How did you start off? And ask those questions. It's like a puzzle for everybody. Everybody's life is a puzzle, and it's up to you to put the pieces together.
And what pieces do you want? The thing is you get to choose what pieces you want.
You get to choose what pieces you want.
Now, I used to have a signature on my email that it said fly high, live large, dream big.
I like that. That's
It was actually a card
Mm-hmm.
that I got, and man, I'm like, this is it. I mean, like, it was the signature of my email for a
this is
long
it.
time.
I think you should put that back.
Maybe I should.
Yeah, I think so. So, Poptastic Nation, we're so happy and grateful that you joined us today. I know our podcast was a little bit more long-winded than usual.
But what is your big dream?
What's your big dream?
Comment down below. What is your big
What
dream?
is your big dream, and what are you doing to accomplish that big dream? What are you doing? How
Yeah.
are you applying yourself? And whatever it is, whatever success you have, sometimes it's good to kind of share it, right? You don't have to talk about it. So I'm not the type of person like, hey, guess what, man? I just got a Maserati. Hey, guess what, man? Hey, I don't wave my key around. Just, hey, look at this, look at this. I'm not that type of guy, right? But sometimes it can be small milestones in your life can make a world of a difference with the peers that's around you. So sometimes you just need to share it and let people know that, hey, it can be for anybody that's dealing with addictions, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it's somebody that smokes cigarettes and they can say, man, hey, look, I haven't smoked a pack of cigarettes in 7 days. Maybe you're releasing
That's amazing.
that and speaking that to somebody that thought about doing it, right? And maybe they want to know, hey, how did you do that? What made you stop, right? It's those small things, to where you can be proud about certain things, because I see that all the time, especially with people that deal with addictions. They're like, hey, man, I'm sober and this. And man, that's a big milestone because I know that addictions are serious. And that is something to be like, well, wow, I ask the questions, like, man, how you doing? You doing good? Like, okay.
Even like doing a detox. When you do a detox,
Yep.
a lot of people, there's so much sugar in all of our food.
Yep.
And, after like 2 or 3 days, you get all of this, you get lightheaded and all this kind of stuff. And so you get this sugar craving. You go through like this withdrawal, basically.
Yep.
And it's the hardest part of going through like a 28-day detox, like me.
See, Mike's doing that. And I asked him numerous of times, Mike, how did that feel, Mike? Well, he's like, man, dude.
But you want to know what? I mean, it's like, like what are you doing for your goals, right? What are you doing to reach your dream? It's like, oh man, I picked up the phone and I called 10 people today. That's amazing.
That's amazing.
Now maybe next time you do it, you might get a sale.
Yep.
Next
Absolutely.
time you know what I mean? It's like you got to congratulate and be happy with what you're doing. And I got to tell you, at the marketing agency that I have, man, I am like so busy. It's crazy.
He's on fire.
I am on fire.
Yeah,
It's
on fire.
it's really amazing, and it's because we're able to help all of these businesses like start, grow, and expand. That's what I love to do. And I don't know. I mean,
see,
I keep getting all of this. I keep getting all of these people calling me up and stuff, and
That's
it's
what
like,
it's about.
we'll do it. We'll do it.
That's what it's about. That's what it's about. Apply yourself. Apply yourself. Write your goals down. Write them down. I can't stress that enough.
Yeah.
Just write them down. Just
Yeah.
put them on some paper. Have a vision board. Right. Write some of these things down, and just take note of what you're doing in your life to accomplish those things.
And he talks about a vision board, but he talked about actually getting in and thinking and seeing himself holding the wheel. How am I going to hold the wheel of my Maserati? And then here it is. What? How long later? A year later? A year later, it's like now he actually is holding the steering wheel.
Steering wheel of a Maserati.
Yeah.
Pretty cool feeling. Look, I mean, if you kind of caught me right now, like I just went to
It's
that
like,
place again, like wow.
So that's it. We've talked about a lot of cool stuff.
Follow your dream and dream big.